Hello, I'm George Sandeman, 7th generation descendant of the founder, inviting you to come back in time with me 225 years. It all started in 1790 when George Sandeman, at the age of 25, wrote a letter to his father asking for a loan to start his business. He asked for £300, which at the time was worth much more than it is today, but it was the amount necessary to begin his adventure. We're proud to celebrate the 225th anniversary of a name which has become legendary, with a special release of this bottle of vintage Porto. When George Sandeman started his business in 1790, his expectations were modest, but his determination and self-confidence helped him to achieve his fortune in just 7 years. He became known among his peers as a man with great spirit of enterprise. By then, his company was well established and he was shipping wines to every continent. And we're here today to establish his spirit of enterprise with his bottle of 2000 vintage Porto. George Sandeman's customers were growing every day. Endless days on the road turned into years. Orders were received from every corner of the world, and shipments were made to major ports on every continent. But in the 19th century, this was not an easy task. George's ports were shipped during times of peace and of war. Many ships sailed, some returned, and some were lost at sea. To recall the heroes who helped George Sandeman reach every corner of the world with his wine, this bottle of great vintage Porto celebrates a hard journey. The making of an exceptional port wine is only possible with great knowledge, experience, and of course, hard work. The search for perfection has always been the Sandeman goal, from the very beginning and for many years to come. From the exhausting creation of the stone terraces where the premium grapes are grown in demanding conditions to the arduous harvesting by hand, no detail is spared. We can never forget the importance of this craft, and we pay tribute to the many talented workers with this excellent vintage Porto from the 2000 harvest. For the first time, a Sandeman signature was burned onto the Porto wine casks as a guarantee of provenance. And from the very beginning, young George Sandeman wanted to sell wines under his own name. George knew that to guarantee the origin, he needed to put his brand on every cask. He was a pioneer and the first to certify his Porto wines from more than 2 centuries ago. And today, we're here releasing this bottle of 2000 vintage Porto in tribute to the Sandeman pioneering spirit. The year was 1928, and Sandeman was already known for creative advertising artwork. A little-known artist, George Massiot, drew an eye-catching poster of a mysterious silhouette with a hat and cape, holding a glass of port wine. Since then, the distinctive silhouette has been represented in all of Sandeman advertising initiatives and labels. This is one of the first wine logos ever to be registered trademark in 130 countries. To this day, the man in the hat and cape is identified throughout the world as the symbol for Sandeman as well as Porto wine. To celebrate this important moment in the history of Sandemans, we proudly present the hat and cape. Today we celebrate 225 years of excellent Porto wine, with this collection of 6 labels, which record some of the most important moments and chapters in Sandeman history, on bottles of 2000 vintage Porto in perfect condition to enjoy, as an exceptional vintage should be. Sandeman continues to this day to be a standard of excellence in Porto wine.